Hi, this is Yash Mundara presenting Design Dissertation. The topic is Revitalization of Sitabuldi Market at Nagpur. Markets are one of the most essential infrastructures for functioning of a place, be it a city, a town, or a village. The two most important characters of traditional markets are formal sector and informal sector. The formal sector and informal sector coexist. However, poor maintenance, dirt to basic facilities, absence of security, and lack of circulation, service, parking, and improper management have led to downward spiral of these public shopping areas in favor of middle class and low income groups. Nagpur is a major commercial and political center of the Vidarbha region of Maharashtra. It lies precisely at the center of the country with the zero-mile marker indicating the geographical center of India. The site is selected on the basis of following criteria. The site should be well connected to all the parts of the city. The site should be located in one of the most busiest commercial places in the city. The site need not be an empty property, it could be a property of a commercial nature. The project could also be a redevelopment of an existing market area or a structure with adding appropriate programs and functions to it. Hence, the best site based on these criteria is the one located at the center, the Sitabuldi market. The aim of the project is to revitalize a part of Sitabuldi market by focusing on both the formal sector as well as the informal sector. The idea is to look at the project not only as a building but also as a well functioning neighborhood for the improvement of the place and to provide better living conditions and to create more opportunities. A solution for these logistical issues like overcrowding, parking, spillover, etc. in the area is planned. The idea is to master plan the Sitawardi street and design a building adjacent to it. Sitabuldi Main Road is an age-old shopping area in Nagpur. It is one of the most buzzing places in the Orange City of India. The area of study predominantly is a fashion accessories market. It consists of existing ground plus one and two-story structures with all shops on lease by the Mahajan family. The land is owned by the Mahajan family. The proposed building would be a marketplace predominantly for fashion accessories with combination of informal and formal sector shops, kiosks, stalls together. Let us look at the site studies to understand the existing conditions of the site. Sitabadi Main Street is connected through Variety Square, where the flyover as well as the metro passes from north to south. The site is located adjacent to the Sitabadi Main Street. The existing site has individual developments in form of retail shops. The rear end of the site has an existing pay and park facility. An 8-story high Orange City Hotel lies in the center of the site, which is in a very good condition. The opposite side of the site has an ongoing under construction development, which is the Global Square Mall. The illustration shows the movement of customers on the street from one informal vendor to the other. Due to this chaotic movement of people as well as hawkers, vehicular movement is disturbed. For better understanding, let us look at a few maps. The site has a few ground plus one and two-story structures, out of which few are in a dilapidated condition. The site is located in the commercial zone. The site includes formal shops, semi-formal shops, as well as informal kiosks or the hawkers. SWOT analysis of the site is carried out to understand the potentials of the site. These are a few images of the site as well as its surroundings. The street is full of hawkers and customers, especially during the times of festivals. People from surrounding regions visit the place as a shopping destination. The Global Square Mall is the immediate site context located in opposite of the street. The mall would in turn increase the issues of congestion. This proposed building has no inclusion of informal sector, which would in turn does not function well because informal vendors generate a good capital and have their existence in the area from many years. The street. The existing street has a configuration of hawkers, parking areas, vehicular movement as well as pedestrian movement. Because the shopkeepers park vehicles in front of the shop, the hawkers adjust in whatever space is available and spill over onto the street. There is a need to pedestrianize the street. Why to pedestrianize? Movement of buyers, customers is in form of crisscross manner which disturbs the flow of vehicles. Increase in congestion due to setting up of hawkers on the streets. These spill over and capture parking spaces of almost all formal sector shops. Lack of availability of space for parking for both the buyers as well as the sellers. Traffic movement from the street gets blocked. Few people try and avoid visiting the place due to congestion and overcrowding. Hence, to split the vehicular movement and the pedestrian movement, pedestrianizing the street is a good solution. Proposed planning for the street. The movement of visitors, customers, or buyers through the street is staged out. These movement lines act as walkways by creating dynamic pockets between them. These pockets in complete plaza function as recreational spaces like kids play area, amphitheater, garden, etc. Hawking is one of the major activity, hence special hawking zones are created. Hawking lanes are created. Hence the pedestrianized street. These are a few scope of activities that make the street more vibrant and active during morning hours as well as night hours, such as fitness activities during early hours, public screening during night hours, outdoor dining spaces, etc. This makes the street more safer for all age groups. The red part of the street could be pedestrianized as it is thicker segment as compared to the yellow part. These are the user circulation diagrams after pedestrianization. Now let us look at the building proposal. The broader program involves formal shops, informal kiosks, office areas, and storage spaces with support functions. Formal shops would be with different configurations but could not rise more than 2 floors. Informal kiosks stalls could be set up at various places but necessarily on the ground floor and adjacent to the formal shops. Rehabilitated existing office areas as well as new office spaces could be raised up to the uppermost level with a bit more silence and private space. Storage spaces are never used on daily basis and hence these could be at an higher level but very well connected to the core of the building. Because the site has an irregular shape with a niche in the center, the diagram shows a few possible zoning strategies. The idea is to create courtyards for hawking on both the parts of the site. To make the project a prototype design, the front building goes parallel with the street so as to give a good interaction with the site. The rear two blocks comes out of the front block with a similar function but of a different nature. Because the informal vending functions only on the ground level, the idea is to keep the ground floor more open. The building mass gradually increases as it goes upwards. This in turn helps to shade the courtyard. The office building is designed in such a way that it appears to be different than the lower building and looks detached as well. Instead of providing separate common open terraces on each and every floor of the office building, a common central open space is created with good height so that it feels completely open. There are four typologies and scales of shopping spaces provided in the building. Advertisements act as a catalyst in bringing the customers to the stores. The flexible retail shops are designed in such a way that its opening acts as advertisement or e-commerce screens, which help the commuters as well as the customers during non-working hours to either shop online or place order from the retail shop itself or look at advertisements. This also makes the street vibrant and interactive during non-working hours as well. LED screens provide flexibility to change the advertisement as well as to have animated advertisements and not static. Here, the hoardings of each and every retail space facing the street are LED display screens which are flexible enough to change the display of shop name into an advertisement long display. Building configuration is divided vertically by keeping all the activities on the ground level. As we go upwards, spaces like experience stores and storage spaces are planned. Private functions with lesser disturbance such as office areas are provided at uppermost levels. Shading strategies. Because Nagpur has extreme temperatures, a double skin facade is used to shade the office building. The east and the west facade has a larger buffer space than the south facade. Flexible sliding jali is used on the east and the west facades to filter harsh sunlight. Horizontal fins are used to block the higher altitude south sun. The north facade is completely fixed glazed. As the market building is lower in height, most of the part of it could be shaded by the surrounding buildings. Let us look in detail the architectural drawings. The vehicles directly enter the basement through the proposed underpass. The site is completely pedestrianized and open from edges to have greater connectivity. The idea is to create voids from the front blocks as well as the rear blocks so as to have physical as well as visual connection to the internal courtyards. A buffer in form of circulation spaces is provided between formal vendors and informal vendors. The external feature staircases acts as main circulation elements for the customers. This floor includes canteen, grocery store, admin, food street as support functions. The first floor includes various shop modules placed back to back so as to keep flexibility to combine spaces. The second floor consists of experience stores and brand shops with retail shops. Brand shops are the shops where display has more importance and hence it comes out of the building with a glass facade. Because there is no appreciation of retail spaces above two floors, the third floor consists of storage spaces and rehabilitated office spaces. A semi-enclosed and open-air restaurant is provided at the front of the building on the fourth floor. The food street and the restaurant are located close to each other, which could keep the building function during night hours as well. The fifth floor acts as a service floor which detaches the office building from the lower building. Due to constraints of setbacks at higher levels, the building line is shifted inside and open office floor plates are provided with double skin facades. As the floor space available is small, the core is at one of the edge of the space. The 10th floor provides common open leisure space for employees to interact, relax, and have informal meetings with a connected canteen. The office module at 12th level divides the executive zone and the general zone through a connecting bridge. All unloading, loading, and parking activities function in the basement and connects the upper spaces through vertical circulation. The underpass is also connected to the local square mall parking. The roof would be completely used for solar energy generation. These panels shade the roof and in turn keep the uppermost floor cooler. The hawker's lane is adjacent to the formal shops with circulation space in between. The external feature staircase acts as a main circulation element for the customers. Open outdoor spaces are provided for each and every office space. Both the courtyards are made lively by adding ample vegetation. The building steps into the courtyard, thus shading the courtyard from harsh west sun. The food street and semi-formal shops are located adjacent to the minor road. The central void in the office building consists of vegetation as well as seating areas for informal meetings. Such high space is perceived as if it is on ground level. The inner skin of the office facade has sliding glass openings so as to control the wind entering the building yet allow ample light to pass through it. The section shows the modularity of the building and the flexibility it offers. Voids as connection passages are created to make the building more porous in nature. The elevations show the look of the building and its surrounding. The thought behind the project was to keep it as realistic as it could be and functional to its greatest extent. Let us look at the structural composition of the building. Raft foundation, in situ columns, and beams till ground level. Precast columns, precast joints and beams, precast slabs. This diagram shows the stages of construction. Precast joint as a connection member is used to achieve cantilevers. The mid-span beam is rested on these precast joints. These precast joints are rested on columns. These are a few designed joinery details for precast construction. This animation shows how structural construction process execute on the site. Columns, joints, beams, and slabs. Let us go through the services layouts. This is the water supply layout, the drainage layout, the firefighting layout. Let us go through the walkthrough. Thank you.